YouTube, what's going on? Andrew Darling here. Guys, it's been a while. It's been a couple months. So back in September, I did a video a couple days before the bar results came out. The bar happened in July 23rd and 24th, or 24th and 25th, something like that. Well, early September, I took a position working for a gubernatorial campaign in the state of Florida. It is now after Thanksgiving, where it's almost December. We did not win the gubernatorial election. But I've had so many comments, so many posts and whatnot on the prior video that I did about the bar exam, sort of my experience those couple of days. And then even the video I did in September, right after I started working for the campaign, where I talked a little bit about, I felt like I did everything I had to do studying. I guess what you're really here for is, what were the bar results? Well, in the state of Florida, you have to get a 136 in each section or a 136 overall. So what that means is, if you get a 136 in the Florida section and a 136 in the MBE section, you passed both sections, you passed overall. There is a way in Florida where you can fail a section and still pass overall if the average of those is 136 from the same exam. So for example, if you scored a 134 in Florida and a 138 in the MBE, those will average out to be a 136 overall, and then you'll pass. So what did I do? That's the question, I guess, that you're here for. You sort of care about my channel. I've answered that in the comments before, so I'm just going to tell you. Y'all, I failed the bar exam. It's not that simple, but that's the end of it. I mean, that's the bottom line up front, is I failed the bar exam. So how did I fail? What did I fail? I failed the Florida section, and I failed the Florida section by 5 points. So I had a 131 in Florida. Like I said, the 136 overall would pass. So I did pass the MBE section. In the MBE section, I scored a 139. So if you do the math really quickly, 131, 139, you just kind of chop and chop until you get to the middle. I scored a 135 overall. So I failed the bar exam by, it's 1 point, but it's really 2 points, because you would have had to have picked up a point, either 2 points on the Florida, 2 points on MBE, one in each. But either way, I would have needed 2 more weighted points in order to get that average. So I scored a 135. You need a 136 overall. So I'm going to retake the Florida section, and only the Florida section, in February. So now if I'm only taking one section of the bar, you don't get to average, you don't get to do any of that. You just have to score 136 in that section. So in February, I'm going to take the bar exam, the Florida section only, 3 essays, 3 hours of multiple choice, and just sort of go from there. So I explained back in February that, right or wrong, I was working through the election. Whether I passed, whether I failed, I was going to work through the election anyway. That's what happened. I worked through the election. I'm going to be working through the rest of the year, just making sure that, all the I's are dotted, T's are crossed, and whatnot. And then I'm going to hit studying for the bar, full speed, on the Florida section. I thought I was going to feel a lot worse. I talked to my family about it when the results first came out in September. And, I didn't feel bad about it until I got the actual written results. And I saw that I was so close, but I failed. So for me, it wouldn't have made a difference if I was so close or if I was 20 points below. I don't really care about that part of it. At the end of the day, I wasn't good enough that day. I still feel like I put in the work. I know areas where I could have improved, and I know areas where I will improve over the next couple months in studying for the bar, in preparation, and honestly, in just sort of being selfish and making sure that I'm taking the time that I need in order to be successful when I take the bar in February. The campaign that I've just worked on was an incredible experience. Even though it didn't go the way we wanted, I learned an incredible amount about people, about politics, about the state of Florida, and about just being around incredibly smart people for many, many hours at a time. There were days where I was working for 20 hours. There were weeks where I had over 120 hours in a week. It's just an insane amount of working, but it was for something that I did truly believe in. It wasn't something I just took as a position to sort of hold me over. I really believed in the candidate. I still believe in the candidate, even though he is now officially a private citizen. I'm going to do whatever I can to be supportive moving forward, not just to him, but to make sure that the values and the ideals and stuff like that I aspire towards, that are important to me, that I can go ahead and work those into my life every day. But also, I need to pass this bar so I can make sure that I'm able to advocate for folks in multiple ways, including being their lawyer and being their legal representative and all that stuff. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I want to do. The bar exam is just another thing that I need to finish in order to do that. My wife has been on me pretty consistently since she's been home to make sure that, well, at least since we got the results, to make sure that I'm focusing on this. I'm not losing sight of it. My wife sort of laughs and jokes about it. She's been in the Army now for getting close to 20 years. She's got couple years left till she retires. And she sort of, jokes that I'm her retirement plan. So any of you out there that are married, that are thinking about law school, that are thinking about going to law school, or maybe you're in law school right now and you don't know how to really express to your spouse the dedication and stuff that it takes, I will say this. If your spouse doesn't buy in, it's going to be really, really hard for you to buy in. My wife bought in wholeheartedly back in 2015. She's been footing the lion's share of the load for our family. And when I failed the bar, I felt like I failed her. I felt like I failed her, my kids, and all of that. We've talked. I know that's not the case. I am going to take the bar again in February. I'm going to make sure that I'm successful. I don't know any other way. I don't. This is a minor setback, but when I pass in February, it makes a good story. Never gave up, that sort of thing. But I don't care about that. I care about being successful. I care about being in a position to help people. I care about being in a position to advocate for other people who probably didn't have the same opportunities that I've had. And that stuff is important to me. It's very, very important to me. And I'm going to make sure that I do everything that I need to do in December and then into January to make sure that I'm ready for the bar in February. My daughter turns 17 in February, and I want to make sure that once I take that bar exam, I'm confident. I felt good after the bar exam in July. I did. I felt like I did enough, but that's not how you ever really want to go into anything. I'm aware of that. I know how I felt when I got out of the bar exam on day one. I felt good. I felt like I did really well on the essay. I can get a little bit more granular on some of the stuff. I was 12 points below average on the first essay. I was 7 or 8 points below average on the second essay, which is the one that I thought I knocked out of the park. And then the third essay, I was 10 or 12 points above average. So I don't know. I'm going to go back through it, and I've talked to my folks down at UM Law that are going to help me through this. I've talked to make sure that I'm going to get on the right program going forward. But I wanted to sit down and do a video. I only have a few minutes. I do still have work to do. But I wanted to get through this, try to get it edited, try to get it up, just to make sure that, folks know I didn't, just pass and ignore everybody, or fail and ignore everybody for that matter. I owned it. It's on nobody but me. I was the one that didn't pass the bar exam. I have to put in that work, and I'm going to do that. And I'm going to be successful. I'm going to pass the bar exam, and that's going to be that. I mean, it's really, it seems like, oh, it's so complicated. It's not. It's really that simple. I'm going to put in the work that I need to put in. When I go take this bar exam in February, I'm going to walk out of there not feeling like I did enough. I'm going to walk out of there knowing that I did enough. So I got to put in that work, and that's on me. There's nobody can do that for me. There's nobody that's going to come in here and implant this stuff into my head, and I'm just going to learn it. No, I have to put in the work again. I have to do that. It should be easier this time. It's literally half of the material that I need to study. I don't need to study the MBE stuff. There are some overlaps in topics, some potential essay questions that may talk about some federal issues, but that's a strategy question more so than just a bulk knowledge question. So I'm going to go through. I'm going to learn or relearn or sharpen up everything that I need to do, and I'm going to be successful. I'm going to go through it. So many of my friends passed the bar. A couple of them didn't, and I'm going to get with them too to make sure that we're sharpening each other. So I'm going to get with some of my friends that passed and ask about some of the strategies. Why did you decide to write this way? Why did you decide to write that way? I'm going to talk to a couple of my friends that failed, and we're going to get through this, and I'm going to do my best to pull people along with me. But I am going to do my best as well to be selfish sometimes. And if that requires me to wake up at 4 o'clock and work from 4 to 7 until my son gets up for school, that's what I'm going to do. If that requires me taking some time out during the holidays when I have family and friends over, that's what I'm going to do. But I need to pass this bar exam. I'm going to pass the bar exam. I just have to put in the work. I don't have any excuses about it. I don't have any sort of, but if I'd only, no. I understand the reasons why I didn't know the material to the level I should have. And those are for me to talk about. Those are for me to know. I'm not, putting those out there as excuses as, oh my gosh, but my wife was deployed. And no, like she was, but she got back. I mean, there was time. I had time. I didn't utilize it the best way that I could, and that's on me. So I'm going to go ahead and pass this bar exam. If you guys stayed this long in the video, look, I appreciate it. I know I hadn't been putting out a whole lot of content. I did get a couple pieces of equipment that I've been thinking about over on my tech channel, just making sure I actually spend some time reviewing and talking about. So if you guys have a minute, go over there as well. You can just search Andrew Darling the same way you did for the law school journey, Andrew Darling's law school journey. Just search Andrew Darling, you'll see my tech channel. I have something like 26 or 2,700 subscribers. Maybe it's 2,800 now, I don't know. But I used to do a lot more videos on there. I'm going to do some stuff over there as well. Making sure that I maintain sort of a life and bar prep are important to me. And I spent way too much time on the bar prep part, but not enough focus time on it. Whereas I didn't spend enough time on the family part of it. I felt like anytime I was with my family, I was regretting it because I wasn't spending time on the bar. And a couple weeks ago, leading up to the bar exam, I just ended up just feeling brain dead. I mean, I hit sort of a wall, and I expressed that to my folks down at UM. But that's normal. So I know how to better avoid that this time, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm rambling now. I'm going to go ahead and stop. Thank you guys so much for your time. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. I don't care if you turn your ding or your bell on and get notifications. I don't care about all that. But I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for sort of sticking with me through this journey. Hopefully I've been able to be helpful to you. If you took the bar exam in July in anywhere, not just in Florida, and you failed the bar exam, feel free to reach out to me. I'm pretty sure we're having some of the same feelings. If you want to talk about it, let me know. You can reach out to me. My email address is in the channel. It's just mr.darling4@gmail.com. mr.darling4@gmail. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. I'll talk to you in the next one. I'll probably do another video at some point soon. So we'll see about that. Take care. See you in the next one. Talk to you then. Have a good one. Have fun. Enjoy your holiday season. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. All of those cool things. Thank you so much for your time. And we'll talk to you soon. Take care.